Okay, everybody. So, I promised y'all a comparison video between this kit that I bought on Amazon for $45 versus this one, which I made over. It took me a couple of years to actually get all the parts and stuff and get it to where I want it now. We'll get to that one later. So, this one $45. Can't remember the company. Just basic survival kit. Let's see what we actually got in here. They've got more bandages and stuff on here than what you know what to do with. I'm trying to close it up. Okay. So on the front, I went ahead and put this little water bottle carrier. It's got a clip on it. It's actually a lot handier than what you would actually anticipate. This paracord bracelet with compass, flint, and a piece of steel. It's not bad. I would not actually recommend trying to use that in an actual survival situation. It does have a whistle on it also. These do come off. Really makes no difference to me on that. It could have been anything. Alright, so let's actually get into the kit. Okay. So, based off of this kit, I really haven't seen anything that I've really just been impressed with. I don't see it actually being worth the $45 that I actually paid for it. Basic paracord. Nothing really fancy about it. It's not 550. Maybe 100 pounds. So there's that. I haven't even bothered taking this out. Pretty much just a water bottle, collapsible water bottle. Maybe $1 worth right there. Okay. We have the shovel, which not very impressive and not very practical if you're trying to use one hand and video at the same time. Or you throw everything on the ground. So the entire shovel, not very big. It does have a screw and handle, which I just dropped on the ground. Not really going to waste time on that. Have your basic little spork. Another whistle. So they've got a lot of whistles in this kit from what I've seen. We got 2 already. So whistle on this end. Knife, spork. You could actually, I guess, put that on a stick and actually make a spear out of it. First aid kit, which may actually be the best part of this kit. We'll get to that here in a second. Basic flashlight, nothing really fancy with it. I do like the lens in there. I actually have used that to where I can actually create fire with that. So there is a fire source in that. But if you don't actually think of it that way, then you won't actually see it. We have this knife here, which is not just the greatest knife on earth. Definitely pretty flimsy. Like I wouldn't want to put too much pressure on that. It could actually break. The carabiner on the back is actually how you close it. So, not the most practical of knives, but it will get you done in a pinch if you actually are in need. Now, one thing I do like about this kit are these little fire sticks. Pretty much all they are is braided line that are pretty much, I'm guessing, soaked in an agent or a starter agent. So that's not bad. in the picture they did show 3 of these. It only comes with 2. So on next, we have another little keychain whistle. So that makes the 3rd whistle in this kit. Here you got your another fire starter. That apparently just popped right off me trying to get the sheath off of it. So yeah, there's that. We're just gonna move on past it. So yeah, your basic emergency blanket. A fire starter, or I wouldn't even say fire starter, to keep the coals going. So it's pretty much all it is an expandable straw, so you don't get your face too close to the fire. Trying to do this all in one shot. Tactical pen. I have had actually another kit that had one of these in it. This one feels a lot cheaper. Not quite as heavy duty as my previous one. Let's see what else we got up in here. And since we're so technologically advanced at this point, a waterproof phone case, which I know a lot of people really want to protect their phones in certain situations. Could be useful for that. Cheap little ring saw. I don't see really any abrasions on that, so unless you're cutting, if it can cut through, or if this can cut through it, then you might as well just go ahead and break it off. So that's pretty much junk. What else we got? Tells you what's actually in it. So gives pretty much a breakdown, different colors, all the things that are actually in it. Pretty much just an inventory list. Oh, there are some more. I did not see it. So we got 4 of these actually. Your basic little wallet kit. Which these are a dime a dozen. Tried to go through the airport with one of these. Pretty much threw it out. Did not lose sleep over it at all. What is this? Basic fishing kit. Pretty much a tin can fishing kit. Got a couple of weights, some hooks, fishing line, 2 things of bait or lures, and that's about it. Probably the most expensive thing in this kit. So you have some kind of light source. If you run out of Q-tips, you've got 100 pack of these, so which they can be helpful, especially when starting a fire. You do have dry tinder that is a wood base at the bottom, so you could actually use it to start a fire. Soak these in alcohol, put some Vaseline on top, and you've got waterproof starters. But that's not already pre-done. You've got to do that yourself. Alright, maybe one of the dumbest things I've seen, which was actually interesting. It actually had me the most interested in this product. This. Now, when I say this is probably the biggest piece of junk that I've seen, it is absolutely the biggest piece of junk I've seen. And this is just me taking it out of the package and actually looking at it. The edge on this thing is non-existent. The hammer may be the most useful part. So, it does open. the actual tools, which this should be fun. That saw, I do not see cutting through anything. So, the second saw could actually work. There is a small Phillips screwdriver on this, which is actually bent. Another bottle opener on it with the multi-bolt. I don't really see any of this actually holding up. Let's see. You got a cheap little compass. It does have a rotating face on it. Doesn't rotate very well, but it does rotate. And I do believe it is pointing in the right direction, so at least we have that. Some bandages again. Should have gone in the first aid kit, but not. Try to switch hands, see if I can get over here with this. And I think this is the last thing in this kit. A sleeping poncho. It's about as cheap as you can get. And, a mistake. I took the carabiners off, I put those on the back of this. Made of really cheap metal. I would not actually use that for anything. The little screw pieces on here don't hardly line up, so unless this is the absolute most basic thing that you actually have, I don't see $45 as actually being a good deal for this. Now you can spend a lot less money and make your own kit. In a certain use, I do see this actually being a practical purchase. It has another compass on the back of it. So we have 3 different compasses. Fairly certain there were 4 different ways to open bottles on this, in this kit. So unless you're just drinking and trying to get help at that point, and you got some minor cuts. This kit is very, very just disappointing in my opinion. It's a lot bigger than what it should be. But yeah, outside of that, I don't really see an actual good use for it. So what we're going to do is pretty much just say goodbye, and there we go. It's cleared out. Alright. So the kit that I've actually created myself. Now this is going to run a little bit more than $45. The Pelican case alone, I think, is a $10 case. It is waterproof. It is solid. Okay. So one thing you'll notice in this kit that I actually have that the previous kit did not is a way to purify water. Which I do like my iodine tablets and stuff. They are great for purifying water. So this is what we use. Got AAA battery stuck in a small little roll fishing line with some duct tape wrapped around it. 1,000 uses for duct tape. Super glue in case of basic cuts. A little miniature flashlight. Now this does have a magnetic piece on the back right here. So actually that was a terrible example. But yeah. So that holds to any magnet surface. We do have a whistle, so if you are trying to find help, this is a metal whistle, so you're not having to worry about plastic or anything with it. I've got some more batteries, which those go to a headlamp that I usually keep around me, especially if I'm planning on going out. We have our first little striker, which is the most basic one. An actual fishing bobber. So that will pair up with your fishing line. Just a small little knife, nothing fancy with it. It's got the little multi-bolt and everything on it. It's got a bottle opener. But this knife actually is made a little bit better. It's got a better edge on it. So I actually am a lot more of a fan of this knife than I am the previous one. So this is what's in the kit so far. Now we're getting down to a little bit more. This is basic first aid. So we've got an old sewing kit. Got some bandages in it. I've also got scissors, a can/bottle opener, sort of fish hooks, and needle and thread. So that covers first aid and some gear repair. I have one really old Esbit tablet, which will hold a fire if you actually get it struck. So that could be a cooking source. And like I said, from that flashlight that we had earlier, this is one I pulled out of another similar flashlight that will start a fire. I've got my Gerber multi-tool. It needs to be probably oiled back up again. It definitely needs to be oiled back up again. But yeah, this right here, actually a really good knife. Got 2 sharpening stones. Heavy grit and a fine grit. I keep these L screws in here just so if I need to actually be able to tie a ridgeline to something, then I actually have a way to actually do that. And here I've got a roll of duct tape. I think that's probably about 8 foot on there. I can't remember exactly how much, but yeah, that's fire starter, that's gear repair, that's pretty much just all the way around whatever you need. It's just stuck around 2 old debit cards, or gift cards, wherever they were. Now we do have the emergency blanket, which, for all in sake, it's actually not bad to have one of these. This one's been in this kit for a while. I've never actually had a need to actually use it. But yeah, this is 130 centimeters by 210 centimeters. And a heavy duty trash bag, which can double as a poncho, a sleeping pad, pretty much anything that you actually could use a trash bag for. And that's all that's on the inside of the kit. So we'll turn the kit over. This paracord that I have on the back is actually Titan paracord. You may be able to actually see a little bit. But inside that you have a fire starter, you have fishing line, you have snare trap wire, and your individual threads of cordage. And here was from an old Ozark Trail kit that I actually ended up buying. It'd be a lot easier if I had both hands. But you actually have an axe blade in here, or a semi-axe blade. It's not much, but it's a lot better than that little axe blade that was in there. This will actually cut. I'm not even going to try to rub my finger up and down it like I did earlier. But you could attach that to a stick and actually have a little bit of an axe. So, just something I added to it just to give another cutting edge. But yeah, this kit versus this kit. Like I said, there were only two things in the other kit that I would actually pretty much go along with this, but I'd have to change cases. I prefer what I've got right now. So I hope y'all enjoyed actually the comparison and walkthrough. Y'all have a fabulous day.